Good evening, everyone. I see our attendees have started to sign in. A warm welcome to you all. Thank you for joining the very first of 9 Eastern Cape Alumni Committee Personal and Professional Development webinar series. We will begin shortly. We are just going to allow for a few moments for the rest of the participants to sign in. While we wait, please make use of the chat function. You can just pop us a message with your name and where you are signing in from. This is just to allow the rest of the attendees to sign in. So while we wait, if you have just joined us, please make use of the chat function. Let us know who you are and where you are signing in from. I see we have Yuanitaka from the Eastern Cape, Nicole from Potchefstroom, Gillian from Gauteng, Brett from the Eastern Cape, Juliana from Potchefstroom. Welcome everyone and thank you for signing in this afternoon. If you have just joined us, we are making use of the chat function just to say who we are and where we are signing in from this afternoon. We have Bonnie from Polokwane, Mohammed from Pretoria, is it Shonay from Johannesburg, Galiboshle, I hope I've said that correctly, from Bloemfontein, and is it Tuma from Johannesburg, Marshall from Gauteng, Amy from Cape Town. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for signing in. We are just allowing a few moments for the rest of the attendees to get on. While we do that, we are waiting. We are making use of the chat function, just popping your name and where you're signing in from. We have Queen from Limpopo, Paul from Johannesburg, Victoria, Mandisa from Cape Town, Jolani from Johannesburg, Charlene from KZN. We seem to be throughout South Africa here. That's good. Stefan from Johannesburg, Karabo from Johannesburg. We have Koma from Senegal, Zanade from UKZN or KZN, Mashadu from Pretoria, Perushka from KZN, Amu from Johannesburg, Genevieve from Cape Town, Zandile from KZN. Welcome everyone. Taylene from KZN. I think we are just about ready. We'll just give it a little moment longer. We have Singisa from Grahamstown. Welcome everyone and thank you for signing in this evening or this afternoon. I have the honor to introduce to you the MC for this evening, which is Yuanitaka. Pastor Yuanitaka is an ordained minister in the Full Gospel Church. She has been a full-time minister for the last 14 years. She is a CPSC Level 5 religious professional. Yuanita holds a master's degree in theology dogmatics at Northwest University. She is currently serving as the vice president of the Golden Key International Honor Society Alumni Committee in the Eastern Cape. Yuanita wrote inspirational articles for both Northwest University and You Magazine, as well as the Joy Magazine in 2020 during the lockdown. She featured recently in the Northwest University unit for the Open Distance Learning 3rd newsletter during Women's Month. Her hobbies include doing karate, mixed martial arts, singing, songwriting, and doing research. Her passion is to help individuals achieve their goals, and she loves being involved in community upliftment. Yuanita's motto in life is never give up. Over to you, Yuanita.
Thank you, Natasha, for the lovely introduction. I welcome everyone to this special webinar, session 1 of 9, aimed at developing the alumni personally and professionally. And it's my great privilege this evening to introduce to you our speaker, Gillian Klute, the Associate Director of Golden Key. What a lovely individual she is. We feel so blessed to have her with us this evening. I will now be reading her bio. She's a dedicated and dynamic executive with a proven track record of senior management and people leadership, strong commercial acumen and competency in business development and operational excellence, a collaborative, modern approach business transformational leader who can execute complex business and strategic plans, extensive experience in community engagement and academic success, corporate partnerships, contracts administration, sales and marketing, as well as processes and systems improvement, an effective and articulate communicator, engaging effectively with stakeholders and leading cross-functional teams through coaching, training, and mentorship. She demonstrated capabilities in the successful application of best business practices, building strong relationships with customers and suppliers. Gillian has been part of the GKSA team for the past 5 years in the role of Associate Director, and it's a great privilege for me this evening to introduce her to you. She is the true epitome of what a leader is, and we are so blessed to have her here. I give over to you. Thank you, Gillian.
Thanks so much, Yuanita. Like you guys heard, I am Gillian Klitter. I'm the Associate Director of Golden Key in Southern Africa. Tonight is such a special night for me to present on this webinar, as it will be my last webinar as the Associate Director of Golden Key Southern Africa before I move over to a new role within another business. So I'm very excited to be here with you guys. Before I start, I also want to ask you guys to use the chat function and tell me where you are within business, or are you still a student? Where are you? Are you a recent graduate just starting your career path? Are you on a management level? I just want to gather my thoughts and have a look at what we're dealing with today. I've been asked to chat to you guys about some of the benefits. I see we have an honors graduate in history. Okay, so I've been asked to chat to you guys about the benefits, and I also want to look at what you can benefit from as an alumni from of Golden Key. I see we have a master's student. As they roll in, I'll just have a look at them. I see we have someone beginning their career, which is great. I want to make sure that I touch on all of the bases today to make sure I give you guys a good idea of what we have lined up for you in the different parts of your career. Okay, let's go on. So firstly, I just want to give you guys an idea of what we did in 2020 as benefits to our members. So we gave out 27 million rands worth of benefits to our members in last year. So I think a lot of alumni don't really know what we do with some of our funding, where they can get benefits. So I just want to run through this. We gave out scholarships to the value of 176,900 to South African members specifically. International travel grants, 250,000. We were lucky enough to get that squeezed in before the full lockdown. I think I'm so happy that we managed to get members to travel a bit in last year, where we haven't been able to do that this year. And hopefully going forward, we'll be able to do that again. We assisted members to join. So we received funding from our corporates or made funding available from our side, but we used almost just over 500,000 rands worth of value to assist our members in joining. We had some competitions. I did see a few names coming up that I recognize. I know there's there's people from other alumni committees online tonight as well. But we had competitions where you can actually join and just relax and network with Golden Key members on a different level. So we had happy hours, all of that type of thing. You could win a pin, you could win Dr. Habib's book, so we've run quite a few competitions. Then online benefits. So this is a major thing that I want to focus on, because I think this is something that we can all benefit on or benefit from on different parts of our journey. I see we have some students on here as well, and lecturers. So I'm hoping that we can really guide you guys on how to use Golden Key better as well. So I'm sure you guys have seen this. We are very public with saying what you can benefit as well. But you as a current Golden Key member can immediately receive free counseling through Puzzle of My Life. Going through different transitions within our journey becomes difficult at times. And I think COVID and lockdown and everything has put so much more pressure on us to perform in different ways. So the free counseling is something that we're very passionate about in ensuring that our members are able to receive counseling. If you are going through a difficult time in your life, it doesn't just have to be through your career. It can be personal. It can be anything. We want to look at the mental health of our members as well. Then you get a free HFM Talent Index Talent Go assessment. So this assessment looks, for example, at what your strengths and weaknesses are. Because you always get asked in interviews and throughout your career, what are some of your strengths? What are some of your weaknesses? And to really accurately answer this and tell people, you know, you've done this HSBCA approved assessment to show your weaknesses and strengths. I think it can also guide you to discover and make good choices going forward with regards to your strengths and weaknesses. You know, focus on some of those weaker areas if you'd like, or use your strengths to benefit you as well. Then I saw some people on here, they're still students or transitioning into their first career. We have Exuma CV generator. So if you don't have a CV at this point, you're welcome to make use of it. Golden Key pays for it on your behalf. So you can go online, generate your first CV. You can put in the details. It generates it automatically. It's such a smooth process. Even if you don't have an updated CV and don't have the funds to maybe let one or write one professionally at this point, make use of this. Then we have launched, and we're busy in the process of rolling out some of the other phases, but we've actually launched our own mentoring program. We are super excited about this. It's something that's been in the pipeline for quite a while. We've been working, it's been developed by professionals, you know, so we've really put a lot of focus into this. If you guys have a look at our YouTube page, on the weekly news, you can get the link to actually do your mentoring awareness program to see if mentoring is something that you're interested in. You know, you can be a mentor and a mentee in different stages of your life. So you can mentor someone while being a mentee of someone else, you know, because we're going through different phases in our lives. So I think have a look at that. It's such a great project to get involved with. We also have our free online entry level mentoring program. So you'll be a certified entry level mentor for Golden Key. There will also be a second phase and a third phase, but that would be on a later rollout for us now. Then the Golden Key Academy. I'm going to speak about it when I get to that slide, but you have lifelong access to that as a Golden Key member. So I'm really going to show you guys. Then we will be rolling out our own app. So it's called the GK Connect. The application is not just the app for you to use in terms of what you can do on our website, because you can do that from your mobile, whether you have an app or not. But the GK Connect is the app specifically developed to help networking, to engage networking between people globally. So we'll have a chat about that. Then opportunities to really contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals in collaboration with the Do More Foundation or your local chapter. So just because you're an alumni member, you're not on campus, or you're studying your master's, PhD, where you're not physically on campus. I know a lot of our undergrads are not on campus at this point, but you can still give back to your community. I think, the Eastern Cape Alumni Committee that's online with me tonight, they are the epitome of your, perfect Golden Key member, looking at academics, community service, and leadership. So you really have the opportunity to focus on community service, either through someone like your alumni chapter, your alumni committee chapter, or through the Do More Foundation. Then something that I think is not utilized quite enough yet is the FBD management short course. It's offered at 100 Rand to our members. I've done this myself. I think the content is brilliant. It was written specifically for Golden Key members. You get a certificate after each of the 4 courses within the FPD short course package. So you can really say, oh, I just want to look at management of stakeholders or managing myself or others, whatever. Or maybe just looking at your organization. This is something that I highly recommend that all of you do if you haven't yet. It is at 100 Rand for a limited time. So if you haven't yet taken up the offer, the mail was sent out earlier this morning. If you haven't received it, just let's look at if you still engaged on your mails, if your emails changed. We are happy to help you guys to get back online. Then we need to look as good as we feel. So you actually get discounted rates on Isabella Garcia products. So if you look on the website, which I'll show you now, you can use the unique code for Golden Key Southern Africa members and get your discount on there. Say you are on a position where you want to change your career, you want to look at something new, you feel your CV needs a revamp for either a bursary or anything that you're looking at, you can get your CV professionally rewritten with CV Profs and receive a discount for Golden Key members. They're bringing out another amazing special just for our Golden Key members, so keep an eye on your mails for that as well. But if you are looking for that career change, I'd highly recommend you guys do this. And then access to our Virtual Goes Viral Summit. So on there is 48 hours of recorded content in different fields, different topics, everything. It was generated from a survey that our members completed, what content you guys are looking for, and it's all on there. So you can also access that by just 100 Rand. Like I said, just have a look at those weekly news that Yuanita puts together for us. You can find all of the relevant information on there. Okay, let's continue. I've said I'll mention the Golden Key Academy. So the Golden Key Academy is your second profile that you'll have. So Golden Key members have 2 profiles. The one is on our main site, our website, and the other one is on the Golden Key Academy. Don't miss out on this. It's over 100 hours. I think it's probably about 400 hours of content now already. But it's in the form of ebooks, webinars, blogs. You can access anything based on the 7 themes of the Golden Key Academy. So you can look at finances, workplace readiness, all of that, and it's free. So I want you guys to go and register with the same email and password as you have on your Golden Key website page. Don't miss out on this. If you are a member that joined way back when I became a member, you'd remember the website as the site with the black background, very limited options to choose from. This is our new site. You're welcome to log in here. We used to log in with our membership number. Now you log in with an email address and a password. So please ask for our help if you haven't logged in yet. Take part in the scholarships and all of that. So that being said, we have all of these amazing benefits, and then we started realizing our alumni members aren't using it. So we started looking at why are our alumni members not taking up these great opportunities. And if you look at the demographics, 79% of our members are alumni. So we started looking at what should our target be for the alumni going into 2021, 2022. We looked at ideas and strategies to improve participation under our alumni members. And then it came to us to start looking at alumni committees similar to the student committees that you have on campus and that you know. We started looking at why not put together these amazing committees that can offer benefits to each alumni member. So looking specifically at what we can offer alumni. So for example, this brilliant series is brought to you guys by the Eastern Cape Alumni Committee. And it was important for us to start putting this together. And we met with these alumni committee members who were selected for their 2-year term. But we started looking at what should the vision be for these alumni committee members. And we went through a series of meetings and content that each committee put together. We put that together. We'll have a survey going out a bit later that you guys must please complete, because we want to look at the needs analysis, or we want to do a needs analysis on our alumni to make sure that we're offering you guys relevant things. So we came together and said, we want to ensure GKSA offers opportunities that meet the need of the alumni. So the primary things that came up was opportunity, communication, participation, growth, and then some of the other things that you can see on the side. They want benefits, inclusiveness, responsibility. So this series will be the start of this alumni journey to make sure that you guys are getting brilliant benefits, that you are included, that you understand, that you have balance. So we also want to give you value for your time. So with that being said, I think, Yuanita, I'm going to give back to you guys so that you guys can start this brilliant series. I think members have a great overview of the benefits that they have and that they can use now. And then you guys can use that going forward in your series as well to make sure members understand the values and the benefits and everything of what Golden Key can offer alumni specifically.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that brilliant presentation. It actually just reinforced in my mind how important Golden Key is to its members, and also for the professional and the personal development journey. And Golden Key membership really is a lifelong journey. So we really appreciate your presentation. Thank you so much, Gillian. It is an honor to have you here this evening.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Jo.
Baie dankie. Thank you very much, Gillian. This recording will be available on the Golden Key YouTube channel, Golden Key Southern Africa. So if you want to revisit anything that Gillian has presented now, any of the concepts and information, you can access it. And you can also find other relevant videos on the YouTube channel. But feel free to reach out to us. I'm going to ask Natasha to put the contact email address in the chat function for us. It's southafrica@goldenkey.org. You're welcome to reach out to us. Also, while we are now online, please post your questions in the Q&A function, and Gillian and the panel would be happy to answer them at the end of the session so that we can make sure that you are well informed. So we are from the Golden Key Eastern Cape Alumni Committee, and as our president, we have Gareth Dart, who is unable to join us this evening, but you will be seeing him in some of the upcoming webinars. We also have Brett Mason, who is our treasurer and in charge of our treasurer and in charge of the fundraising. We have Sipusetu Krutani, who is our professional development director. Nokutula Mnisi, who is our personal development director. And Odwa, I'm not sure how to pronounce your surname. Is it Sikriwe? He's our public relations director. I hope I didn't butcher your surname now. So we will be handing over to... Sorry, Odwa, just give us that surname. Oh, there's a click. I don't think I'll be able to mimic that. But we will be handing over to each committee member to give us a short interpretation of what they experience the 3 key pillars of Golden Key to mean to them in a personal and professional manner. The 3 key pillars being academics, leadership, and service. So I will now be handing over to Brett Mason, our treasurer, who will just introduce himself and then present to you his idea, his formulation of what the 3 pillars of Golden Key means to himself as an individual. Thank you, Brett. Over to you.
Great. Thanks very much, Juanita. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, evening, everybody. So just before I begin, I must apologize. Obviously, this is the professional development webinar series and my video is off. That is through no fault of my own. For some reason, Zoom does not like my computer, so I do apologize. Leading into that is we've been asked to sort of prepare a little bio on who we are and what we're about. I'm going to be very brief. My name is Brett Mason. I live in the Eastern Cape, specifically in Grahamstown/Makanda, and I'm a development economist. I think instead of going on a big rant of who I am and what I do, please find me on LinkedIn. Let's connect. Let's link up. I think a big part of the professional and development stuff is obviously creating networks. And I always find it so funny. I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience. You go to a networking event and there's almost never any networking, or there's these huge circles of people who just talk about the most arbitrary topics and never actually get to the point of talking about each other and actually networking and connecting. So I love these webinar formats where I can just say, guys, please go and check me out on LinkedIn, and let's connect there and let's take the conversation further if you want to. That being said, if you are whipping out your phone right now to do that, can I ask you not to? Obviously, we only got this little window to chat to each other now, and we can always connect on LinkedIn later. So in preparation for tonight's webinar, which is the first of 9, we've each been asked to come together and kind of think of which of the 3 pillars of Golden Key appeal to us most. For those of you who are maybe trying to think, well, what exactly are the pillars? Obviously, they're leadership, service, and academics. Now, I think that everybody in the room or on the webinar tonight would probably have one that really jumps out at them when that list gets read. And for me, it's leadership. I must say, I've come up with 4 points that I want to speak to briefly just on leadership. I want to talk about just the concept of leadership, the why, a little note on what I call listening, the speaking, and then a 4th one, which is just 2 things that I think a good leader should look not to do or should look to avoid. So the first thing in brief is, well, what exactly is a leader? And when I thought about the question, I basically came to the conclusion, well, I think a leader is someone who makes decisions. But I think a big part of that idea is at what level are those decisions made? I think all too often we think that the leader is at the top. They're on top of the pile. They're at the front of the queue. They're really, right up there somewhere. And I just don't think that that's true. I think we're obviously all leaders, and I think everybody would agree with that. But the key question there is, what decisions are we making? When are we making them? And more importantly, why? And that leads into the second point of discussion. Why exactly do we want to be leaders? And potentially, what kind of leaders are we seeking to be? And I think the key question there for me was, well, why do you want to be a leader? Why do you want to be in charge? Why would you apply for the Golden Key Alumni Committee? Why would you apply for a position of leadership? And I think each and every single person would have their own motivation for doing that. At the end of the day, for me, it really comes down to the idea of competence. If I think that I'm good at something and I enjoy it and I work hard at being good at it, I want to be able to share it with other people. And coming back to the concept of leadership, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the one standing at the pulpit speaking. That's not what I'm saying. Sure, I've learned all this stuff about a certain topic maybe, and I've been put in charge of something, but that doesn't mean that mine is the only voice in the room that should be heard. And that leads into point 3. And again, this is in brief, and I'd love to take the conversation further after this. But I think a big thing for me when it comes to leadership is the best leaders that I've ever known are always those who live by that mantra of you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, therefore you should listen more than you speak. And I've always found that a really interesting idea, because how many times have you found yourself sitting in a meeting, engaging at any level? Like, it can be at a coffee shop, it can be in the office, it can be in the lecture hall, it can just be walking to and from lectures, going to your car with a friend, whatever. And you're hearing the other person, but you're not listening. And you're responding not to them, but to yourself, but by speaking to them. And I think that that is a thread of leadership. A real leader listens to people even when they don't want to. And a real leader responds in the appropriate way, even when they might not necessarily want to as well. So in closing, the last thing I'd like to raise is these 2 negative mantras, if you want, that really spin around my head when I think of the concept of maybe poor leadership or bad leadership. And the first one is rules for me and not for thee. Obviously, a good leader leads by example, and they live by what they say. telling people to act in a certain way and then doing the contrary yourself is really, really not the way a good leader should behave. That doesn't mean that people don't do it, right? And the second one is do as I say and not as I do. Again, speaking to the same point, but maybe just from a different perspective. So in a nutshell, leadership, complex, deep topic, and I think something that we are really, really well poised to take forward in the future. I think we've got a lot of fantastic leaders, and I think one of the key issues with leadership is that good leaders tend not to speak up for whatever reason. And I think a lot of that is rooted in exactly what I've spoken about tonight, maybe listening too much and speaking too little, but that's potentially a point of discussion or debate to take forward. Juanita, if I can hand over back to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. Thank you for bringing this to light. And it actually is resonating with something that Dr. William Wood said on the last leadership summit that we had. Golden Key, by the way, is into networking extensively. So then we know we are all at the right place, because at our leadership summits and our virtual summits, we always make time to network. So that is just an indication to me that we are doing something right. So I was in a networking session in the last summit that we had. I think it was between the 10th and the 11th of August. And Dr. William Wood said that good leaders listen. So when you spoke now, I was thinking about that. Absolutely. And he also said good leaders keep their word. And good values have to transpire. I agree with you completely in our day-to-day conduct. It doesn't help that we have the title or that we have the position and we don't live that position. We don't live being a Golden Key member. So as Golden Key members, I encourage you to live a life of academics, leadership and service. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Brett. We really appreciate it and enjoyed it. I'm now going to hand over to Sipuseto Krutani, our Professional Development Director, for her rendition of what academics, leadership and service means to her. Thank you, Setu.
Hey, thank you, Anita. Hello to our members. As I was introduced, I'm Sipuseto Krutani. I'm a clinical psychologist based here in Makanda as well with Brett in Grahamstown. I work at Fort England Psychiatric Hospital. And so I am really pleased to be here tonight. So I'll just, I won't mention any of the stuff Brett has mentioned about the pillars. And I actually like all three pillars. So I'm just going to go through all my thoughts, something short, it won't be too long. So as I thought, when it comes to the three pillars of Golden Key, there's no one which is more important than the other. So they're all significant. They all play into each other. They all feed into each other. And there's no one way towards success or having a fully enriched life. So the combination of excelling in both in academics, in leadership and service are all important. They all equally lead to a fully enriched life. So good academic performance alone can only get one so far. So as important as it is and as significant as it is, so there's then a necessary need to focus on leadership. So you can't just be excelling in academics and without leadership. So imagine when you go into the workplace now that you've succeeded in your academics, but now you have no leadership skills. So now academics alone will not help you in terms of going forward. So you have to have an important laser focus on leadership. So with regards to leadership, we're all leaders, in different capacities. We're leaders at home, we're leaders at work, we're leaders at school. And that is why it is important to harness one's leadership skills. So I thought that's very important that Golden Key had this focus on leadership, because there's no way any one of us can escape being a leader. You have to lead somewhere. So the pillar of service means, which is probably my favorite pillar, because I'm a service-oriented individual. So to me, when you've now completed your academics and you've performed well and you have harnessed your leadership skills, now what do you do with that? So now there's need to put that into effect. And that, for me, that's where service comes in. So you want to always serve in a well-informed manner. You want to serve at your best, like pour all of yourself into it, which is your brains, which is now where that academic excellence comes from, and also your leadership skills. If you're serving a community, for example, and volunteering, you want to show that you're actually a good leader and you have the people's best interest at heart. So service for me is by far the most significant pillar of the Golden Key. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Seto. We really enjoyed it. And yes, it's true. We need all three of those to be effective, I'd say, human beings, because it's so diverse being an individual, especially in the times that we live now. We've had to kind of adapt to the new normal, and that has been taxing on some of us. So yes, we need all three pillars, absolutely. And I think they are wonderful pillars to start with. So yes, service, definitely, that is the industry that you are in, and we appreciate you, and we know that you are doing fantastic work. So thank you. We really love having you on the committee, and thank you for your presentation. I'd now like to give over to Odwa. Odwa, I'm not even going to attempt to say your surname, but he's the Public Relations Director on the Golden Key Eastern Cape Committee. So Odwa, would you please like to enlighten us on what do the three pillars of Golden Key mean to you?
Thank you, Juanita. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all have been a lovely evening. My name is Odwa Kwekwe. I am based in Gqeberha, formerly Port Elizabeth, but I'm originally from Mount Frere. I am currently studying towards my master's degree in psychology at the Nelson Mandela University. This is also where I help with lecturing duties as an assistant clinical lecturer and also hold the position of a residence manager. As Juanita has mentioned, I am currently serving as a public relations director for the alumni committee. Allow me to apologize for my video function. It's not working properly. It's actually sad because I went all the way and dressed up and no one is gonna get to see me. But it's fun, I'll take selfies. Being a member of the Golden Key has not only afforded me an opportunity to become part of a global community, but it has also given me an opportunity to enhance my academic career. And as I continue to also work towards achieving my personal and professional goals. Now, this individual growth, it has been acquired through these three pillars. And as my colleagues have mentioned, there's no pillar that takes precedence over the other one. They are all equally important. Now, allow me to share with you what these three pillars of Golden Key personally represent to me, and how Golden Key has also supported and continues to support my personal and professional development. Starting with the first pillar, that is academic. Now, as I've just mentioned, being a member of Golden Key has afforded me an opportunity to become part of a global community. Now, this is a community of students and alumni. And I must say that over the years, I have had access to a network of people in different fields, like-minded individuals that have also contributed to my research. Now, in terms of leadership, becoming a member of Golden Key, you get an opportunity to gain leadership skills. As you all know that Golden Key has chapters across our universities, and these chapters have a number of positions that carry out different roles and responsibilities. Now, for me, Golden Key has afforded me a platform whereby I can put my leadership skills into practice. For example, today, I hold the position of a public relations director for the Golden Key Alumni Committee. And this has been a great platform whereby I get an opportunity to improve my leadership skills, and it's a continuous process. And also I get an opportunity to learn from my fellow colleagues. Now, on the last pillar, that is service. Now, as an individual who is also in one of the helping professions, community service is fundamental. And my colleague Setu has indicated its importance. Now, for me, it has assisted me to reinforce the skills that I've learned over the years at school, and also to develop new ones. And most importantly, it has helped me to elevate my sense of purpose. I went to studying psychology because I wanted to help people. And now being of service to the community is somehow fulfilling my sense of purpose. Thank you.
What wonderful words from an absolutely fantastic leader. I'm sure the Eastern Cape Alumni Committee will agree with me that Odwa is a good listener. When Odwa does speak in the meetings, it is something that carries so much weight. So you are truly a fantastic leader, Odwa. And yes, I agree with you. We are also thankful to Golden Key for giving us a platform and for giving us a chance as individuals to develop in the entire sphere of our being. So this evening, the topic was the 3 pillars of Golden Key: academics, leadership, and service, and also to give information to the alumni members. You've heard that our Associate Director, Jillian, said that 79% of Golden Key members are alumni. And we would love to reconnect with you. We would love for you to become active members within the Golden Key International Honor Society, and therefore kindly reconnect with us. Make sure you go onto the goldenkey.org website and that your profile is updated. That means that you will receive all the notifications that are applicable to you. The Golden Key Academy, as Gillian has mentioned, it is so important that you connect with us there, because that is where members register for the enlivening webinars that Golden Key schedules and hosts for you as members. So the 3 pillars of Golden Key, what do these pillars represent to me as a Golden Key member? Let me start with the first pillar, namely academics. The Golden Key charge states that academics is more than the accumulation of facts. And this quote deeply resonates with my personal belief that life is a journey of continuous learning. Now, on the academic front, as well as the different arenas of our lives, such as social, emotional, personal, professional, as well as spiritual development, I'm of the firm belief that humans are diverse beings, and that in order for one to be completely fulfilled and happy, one has to be approach this in a holistic manner. Hence, I arrive at the pillar of leadership. Now, I've made the statement in previous webinars that leadership is, in fact, to me personally, a lifestyle. You are either leading or you are being led. And I think it differs from situation to situation and from platform to platform. In some instances, we are leading, and in other instances, we are being led. And it's very important that we as academic achievers stay teachable. I've learned in my years in the ministry that we absolutely never stop learning. We will continue to be that way indefinitely. Now, as an active Golden Key member, I'm deeply appreciative of the fact that Golden Key always facilitates a platform for Golden Key members to be able to grow and develop, and not only so in academics, but also in leadership skills. And this is done through the regular virtual summit and webinars and workshops and other events that the Golden Key international offices and the South African offices host. Our third pillar, being service, in my opinion, ties the holistic factor of being a GK member in very well. To me, it is the glue of what we are achieving as a society and will ultimately take us to higher heights. What we learn in academics and the capabilities that we develop as leaders in leadership has to ultimately pay it forward, in my opinion, and make an impact not only on our members, but also society. Otherwise, it will be in vain. So Golden Key partners with various institutions and entities, including the Do More Foundation, which Gillian mentioned, which is feeding, for instance, the children of Africa. So feel free to visit our YouTube channel, Golden Key Southern Africa, view our webinars, which will give you a well-rounded view of the practical application that Golden Key is practicing through our 3 pillars: academics, leadership, and service. I'm now going to open the floor and ask if there's any of the attendees or even panelists that have questions or comments with regards to what we have presented here this evening. I see Brett Mason has his hand up. Brett, you're welcome to unmute.
Yeah, thanks, Juanita. So well spoken to everyone. Setu and Odwa, as always. I kind of miss our 1.5 to 2 hour long meetings in the evening. Always entertaining, interesting stuff. But I think that maybe, Juanita, while we wait for questions in the chat, an interesting topic and one close to everyone on the committee's hearts, I think, is maybe if we talk about it with regards to our experience in the Eastern Cape, most especially, and I'm sure Setu and Odwa would like to do that as well. I mean, I've been in the Eastern Cape for 8-9 years now, and I think that, as a team, we've all spoken about the pressing need to bring the Eastern Cape online. So it was really interesting tonight looking at the chat, and guys, really blown away by the diversity of people on the chat tonight, from Potch to Joburg all the way through to, I'm sure there was 1 or 2 people in Limpopo, but I could be wrong. So really amazing. But the one thing I noticed is there's almost no one besides the people on the alumni committee from the Eastern Cape. So part of our, incorporating 3 pillars into our committee is to bring the Eastern Cape. Hey, from Uganda, welcome, Viola. Amazing.
Welcome.
So I think part of our thing is to really empower our alumni members, and obviously we're not specifically focused on the students, but our alumni members, which is even more pertinent, right? How many of you have left being a student, and there's quite a gray gap there where no one takes care of you? To empower our alumni members who have been left behind in the electronic sphere, so they can come and attend these meetings and events and all of that. So I think that's really important. Juanita, I'm not sure how you want to take it from here. Setu, Odwa, maybe you guys want to unmute and we chat until there's a question in the comments. But Juanita, I'll hand over to you. Whatever you want to do, we'll do.
Thank you, Brett. I agree with you absolutely. One thing about this committee is that we gel very well and we have very interesting meetings. And it's always to benefit Golden Key and its members. And that is why it's so lovely to be a part of this committee in the Eastern Cape, because we really have a heart, yes, for all the 3 pillars, but to assist mostly the Golden Key members who have been disconnected in a certain sense, or maybe who are, not as connected as they used to be. So yes, I would like to ask the attendees, we are going to have the rest of the series, 8 more webinars to spread the word. Go onto our social media platforms. You'll find the weekly news on the Golden Key Southern Africa YouTube channel, and that contains all our social media handles. So we would love for you, as you register for our webinars, to spread the word. Please go onto social media, share the post, retweet for us. We would like to engage, especially all the alumni members. So I don't know if Setu or Odwa have any comments that they also want to deliver. I see lovely comments in the chat. It's so lovely to have all of you here. We enjoy connecting with you and meeting with you on this platform. And we know that this webinar series is truly going to be a journey in a sense, and that we will all get on the other side having learned from each other. So Odwa or Setu, I see Setu is unmuted. Setu, would you like to add?
Yes, just to add this about us as the EC Alumni Committee, we're just a group of people who we are the same in the sense, like we hit the ground and we run, and that's why this webinar has been possible, because once someone has an idea, we all back it up. And I think that's something we also want to give to our members. We want to just exemplify that sometimes an idea can just remain an idea until you write it down, or you put things in order and you just start running with it. And yeah, we're really excited to be the EC Alumni Committee, and really excited. So for our members, we'd just like to know what you think of the 3 pillars, and which one is your favorite? Which one stands out to you? You can mention that in the chat for us. Yeah.
That is a fantastic suggestion. Fantastic. Thank you, Seto. So as Seto suggested, would you as attendees and Golden Key members, part of our family, please in the chat function, explain to us or give us an indication of what the 3 pillars mean to you. I would like to ask Odwa if he would like to also add something for us from the Eastern Cape Committee.
It's just a comment, Juanita, on personal and professional development and its importance. If anyone wants to be a leader, an employee or a mentor or a colleague, you have to develop, you have to have personal and professional development, because it's all about seeking ways to do your job better. Thank you.
Well said, well said. Absolutely in agreement with you. I'm sure the committee and the attendees also agree with you. I have a wonderful comment from Bonita Pretorius, and she says, receiving the email about this series of webinars has reconnected her after many years with Golden Key. That is such fantastic feedback. That is exactly what we are trying to achieve here. So we are so happy to have the ball rolling. I have Brett's hand up. Brett, you're welcome to unmute.
Yeah, hi, Juanita. So I want to talk about Wandile Langa's comment here, which says, colleagues, please talk about leadership and servitude beyond titles. He goes on to say, the assumption is often that power is not in our hands, and that is a crippling assumption that often impacts on your professional development. So Wandile, I cannot agree with you more. It's a point that I potentially didn't convey enough, or my English wasn't great enough to put it across when I was talking earlier. But I think the thought that came to my mind there was, when you are eventually given a title and some sort of power that'll make decisions that mean something, when that happens for me, I want to be ready for it. I want to be sure that I am competent enough to make the right decisions and right choices. And that's, it speaks to a lot of the points that have been raised by the panelists here tonight, that, everyone, including Natasha and Gillian, will agree that we never stop learning. And, you never want to be absolutely, utterly sure of yourself, because you never know. But I think before you become a title, before you become a position with decision-making authority, I agree with you. I think you need to work on yourself such that when that actually happens, you have the tools in your toolkit to make the most appropriate or accurate decision possible. You don't want to arrive at someone's car as a mechanic and not have a toolkit with you, or worse, not even know what to do when you get there. So yeah, maybe I can hand over to Juanita. I'd love to actually get Gillian's thoughts on this. But I think it's a fantastic point and well.
Absolutely. I agree. Gillian, would you like to comment for us? Thanks.
Thanks. I agree, Brett. I was actually also reading the question or phrase posed by Wandile, and I agree with that. You can never stop learning, and I think that as part of forming part, even if you're not officially forming part of, for example, the alumni committee itself, attending these webinars and just broadening your knowledge. I think we spoke about it earlier today when we logged on as well. We want to learn new things, and you should be intuitive in learning, but never, and I think I'm going to put it very plainly, but never becoming arrogant as soon as you think you know something. Because I firmly believe that if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You should move, So I think I see in the comments there are a lot of people that want to be involved. Wandile, from your comment, I can see you also someone that's passionate about leadership and servant leadership, So reach out to these committee members. Become involved in something bigger than yourself. There's a lot of things that you can do and that you can build that only build you. But there's a lot of things that you can do that build your leadership skills, but also service your community at the same time, or give back to someone. you can't take, you can't receive with your hands full. So I think, yeah, that sums it up on my side. I see, Brett, you've got your hand up again.
Juanita, are you happy?
Yes, I wanted to say to Jules, nobody could have said it better. Absolutely. You've just described absolutely what we've been talking about for the last few months. And I just have to mention that Gillian worked extensively with the alumni committees. And Gillian, we are so thankful for you to for putting together the committees. I know it's just going to benefit Golden Key. And I agree with you that humility is at the order of the day. So thank you very, very much. Baie dankie. I want to give over to Brett now. His hand is up.
Well, before I chat, Setu, Odwa, Natasha, anything you guys want to say on this point? We take your silence as a no.
No.
So, so Juanita, something that I saw here now, and like again, this is all obviously in the context of the leadership discussion, but Korma Steyn, Korma, I love this last sentence you got here, and honor the people who support you. I feel like that's something that we've kind of lost a little bit. And this is also another thing, is that, you know, you'll watch news or you look at social media streams and you'll get a sense of the world. And the truth is that really the sense of the world that's actually going on? Is it really? Because I was about to say, I feel like we've lost the concept of honor a little bit, but then I look at myself and I definitely feel like there's parts of me that embody it. So Korma, I think that's a great point about having some honor, some respect, you know, for the people around you. And it's obviously a really deep topic and one that can be quite complex, but a great point that, you know, we need to honor each other and show that respect. And it's obviously something that's, I think we've got a history. I'd go further back in the chat, but I know we've got someone studying honors in history here. And I'm sure that they would agree that like the old traditions all across the world placed at front and center honor and respect. And there's a reason for that. And for us to disregard the lessons of history would just be silly. But Juanita?
Wonderful. Yes, I agree with you completely, Brett. Respect is so important. And if you are a true leader, even as a Golden Key member, you know, and as an individual that is leading in your field, you should always display respect and you should always value other people's opinions. I agree with you completely. I love what Jillian said. She said, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I immediately thought back to our summits, our virtual summits. And I remember the networking sessions, and I remember the wonderful people that we got to network with from all over the globe. And that's why I really want to encourage all the attendees, please, register for the next few webinars with us. Let us learn from scratch how to respect each other, how to stay humble leaders, how to live the pillars of academic service and leadership. And as we grow, we can network. And I know that we are going to have a great impact in reconnecting the alumni members who are in essence our family. Because what I love about Golden Key is that Golden Key always gives to its members. There's always something that we offer that is new, that is fresh, and it's always for your personal and professional development. So we are truly the Golden Key family. Someone here in the chat function said service. I think it was Bonita. Yes, for me, she says, I would have to say service. As an educator, this is the core of my profession. Academic is just as important in my life. Teachers, in my opinion, must never stop learning, amen, from others and through continuous various other channels, webinars, courses, reading, studying further. And that is really what Golden Key encapsulates. We do not minister to you in or serve you in one manner. If you go on the Golden Key Academy, you'll see there's 7 different themes. I think we are already on 11 different themes for all of the study fields represented here today. There are webinars, there are articles, there are videos, the benefits apply to all the members that we have in Golden Key. And that is what makes our impact so far reaching. Now, I don't know if there are any last comments. Gillian, if you have any last comments before we end the session off, we would love to hear, or anyone on the panel as well, we open the floor to you.
Thanks, Yuanita. I just want to say thank you to the members on here that joined us, that want to reconnect, that want to re-engage. I saw a lot of valuable comments on here. I think there's a lot more that people are thinking, not necessarily putting into words yet, but keep joining the series, keep coming back, keep finding out more, change rooms if you need to, but just keep connected and stay positively engaged with all three of the pillars of Golden Key.
Thank you very much, Gillian. And it's very sad this evening. Sadly, this is Gillian's last webinar with Golden Key. And from me personally, it has been a tremendous blessing working with you, Gillian. You are an exceptional leader and friend. And may God just bless your family, your beautiful family, and your future and all your endeavors. We really appreciate you, and we know that you will always be a Golden Key member. I think back over the years, and I remember my first contact with Golden Key was with Gillian Klute, and ever since we have been talking, and you've made such a big impact in my life. As I know, you've also made an impact on the panel speakers' lives as well. So from Golden Key Southern Africa, thank you for your wonderful service. Thank you for the upliftment that you've brought to Golden Key International Honor Society. You will be greatly missed, but we want the best for you and for your future. So that is all from us this evening. Thank you, Gillian. Thank you to the panelists for speaking this evening, and the attendees. You are greatly valued. Please remember to register for the next few webinars. And with that, we just say good night, and you are welcome to leave the webinar by clicking the leave button at the bottom right hand of your screen. Goodbye, everyone.